If you want to harness the full potential of using cloud services, meticulous and comprehensive control over everything that happens is essential, especially over the money spent on the cloud. Simply recording all expenses in a notepad isn't enough. We know that AWS embedded tools can handle their task in cost management, but is it truly effective? You are watching the Infinops Insights channel. My name is Mark, and today we will discuss what is not quite right with AWS Cost Management. What's wrong with AWS Cost Management? It seems like AWS promises us a magical world where we can easily control cloud expenses, but the truth is, when we take a closer look, the picture is not as rosy. There are three main issues with AWS Cost Explorer: limited analytical depth, interface and usability, and delay in displaying data. Limited analytical depth is a headache when it comes to cost calculations. A company develops multiple products, each utilizing a unique set of AWS services. The project manager wants to receive monthly cost reports for each product to precisely track expenses and efficiently allocate resources. However, we encounter explicit limitations here. Firstly, there is insufficient detail. Cost Explorer provides an overall cost overview, but when it comes to the nitty-gritty details and specific usage scenarios, it falls short. For example, if you need to break down costs for individual EC2 instances or Lambda functions, be prepared for a headache. Secondly, there are limited customization options for report. You are confined to preset parameters and filters. For complex or non-standard cost reports, Cost Explorer may prove ineffective. Moving on to the next issue, the interface and usability of Cost Explorer. A complex and non-intuitive interface is the first thing that catches the eye. For new users, navigating the interface can be challenging. The arrangement of functions may seem chaotic at times, making it difficult to grasp the navigation and logic. Additionally, don't forget about the challenges in interacting with other AWS services. Although Cost Explorer is integrated into the AWS ecosystem, its interaction with other AWS services is not always seamless, adding extra difficulties to comprehensive cost management. And finally, the third issue, delay in displaying data. There is a delay in information refresh, meaning that cost data is often not updated in real time. This can lead to decisions based on outdated information, which is particularly critical in dynamically changing projects. There are also issues with data accuracy. When data in Cost Explorer diverges from the data in bills or usage reports, it causes confusion and uncertainty in decision making. Next in line after Cost Explorer is AWS Budgets. Undoubtedly, it has its advantages. It provides a basic understanding of where your money is going and helps avoid unexpected expenses, if you can navigate through the settings. Let's highlight the positive side. It offers useful cost monitoring features. AWS Budget provides valuable tools for monitoring and controlling costs, especially once you become adept at using it effectively. AWS Budget is like that strict teacher who makes you learn from your mistakes. It's challenging, sometimes annoying, but in the end you gain valuable experience in cost management. Speaking of the AWS cost and usage report, I would like to address the complexity and data overload. The report you receive is like a black box. It contains a wealth of data, but understanding what to do with it requires a specific skill test set. It is not a place for the faint-hearted. The AWS Cost and Usage Report is clearly not for everyone. It is a complex but powerful tool. If you are ready to take on the challenge, it will unveil the world of AWS costs in all its complexity. Now let's examine AWS Trusted Advisor, the wisest counselor. It offers numerous recommendations, but often they seem so obvious that you wonder why it is needed in the first place. Let's immediately highlight the apparent shortcomings of AWS Trusted Advisor. Firstly, there is general and obvious advice. Most of the advice you receive from Trusted Advisor could be found in the first cost optimization article. Terminate unused EC2 instances. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Secondly, there is limited deep analysis. Expecting a comprehensive analysis and personalized solutions? Not quite. Most advice is quite superficial and doesn't consider the unique aspects of your business. And finally, dependency on subscription. To access more advanced features of Trusted Advisor, be prepared to shell out additional funds for a subscription. So get ready to open your wallet for that deep wisdom. To access the premium features of AWS Trusted Advisor, you need to subscribe to one of AWS paid plans such as Business, Enterprise, or On-Ramp. These support plans not only provide expanded access to Trusted Advisor, but also come with other benefits including enhanced technical support and consultant services. The cost of the plan depends on the level and your overall monthly AWS usage. For instance, the business plan starts at $100 or 10% of monthly AWS spending for the first $10,000. The enterprise plan begins at $50,000 or 10% of monthly AWS spending for the first $150,000 with a gradual reduction in the percentage as spending increases. Therefore, to gain full access to AWS Trusted Advisor and other premium features, you'll need to select an appropriate support plan and factor its cost into your overall AWS usage budget. It may sound not entirely optimistic, but it is not all doom and gloom. The advisor sometimes provides genuinely useful security and performance tips. It can also be beneficial for those who are just starting their journey with AWS. Trusted Advisor can serve as a helpful guide to ensure you don't overlook fundamental aspects of resource management. Additionally, Trusted Advisor can identify open ports, improper security group settings, outdated software version, and other potential vulnerabilities. Furthermore, after detecting issues, Trusted Advisor offers recommendations to improve backup and recovery strategies, as well as ensuring adequate resource isolation to enhance the reliability and resilience of the infrastructure. AWS Trusted Advisor also analyzes resource usage and can pinpoint overages. For instance, it can highlight unused or underutilized EC2 instances that can be stopped or downsized to reduce costs. Its advice may include recommendations for more efficient use of AWS services, such as transitioning to more suitable instances types or using more cost-effective data storage options. Trusted Advisor can sometimes identify performance-affecting issues such as suboptimal load distribution or improper use of caching services. The issue of data delay in AWS is extremely acute and poses a significant challenge that can genuinely cause problems. Let's be honest, when it comes to real-time data in AWS, we often receive information that is already outdated. It's like reading yesterday's news and expecting it to be relevant today. What could be the consequences for users? It's straightforward. Persistent data delays force many of us to turn to third-party tools. We need up-to-date information to quickly respond to changes, and AWS seems to be in no hurry to meet this need. In short, data timelines is one of the potential pains for prospective AWS clients. If we are using AWS in its tools, we probably wouldn't want to consider using others or transitioning into a multi-cloud strategy, even if it might be more cost-effective and beneficial for the company. The reason being that AWS tools are designed exclusively for Amazon's cloud, which makes interacting with multiple clouds extremely inconvenient. Embedded AWS tools simply can't efficiently monitor several cloud environments simultaneously. So it becomes apparent that all AWS cost management services fall short when it comes to meeting the needs of a multi-cloud environment. Well, it's time to wrap up. AWS Cost Explorer, AWS Budgets, Cost and Usage Report, and even Trusted Advisor, all of them have their weaknesses. Using them, we encounter limited granularity, complex interfaces, data delays, and generic advice that sometimes seems unhelpful. I should also mention third-party services. Sometimes, to truly manage costs effectively, we need to look beyond AWS and seek assistance from external tools and services. So, yes, AWS provides us with tools, but the true wisdom lies in the ability to use, complement, and, when necessary, criticize them. Sometimes, the real cost management begins where AWS capability ends. We would love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to share your experiences with AWS Cost Management tools in the comments. You've been on the Infinops Insights channel. Subscribe, hit a like, and now I bid you farewell. See you in the next videos.